Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It is a sultry, humid, hot afternoon here in the Ozarks. Temperatures in the mid to upper 90s, heat index 105, 110, something like that. But it is almost August, so I guess, it's just the way it is. Gold almost broke 2,500 today. I mean, I guess it still technically could, but it almost broke 2,500, and oil is up over 5%. I suspect it has something to do with what's going on in the Middle East. Today, it's become pretty much accepted that Israel has waged these 3 assassinations on 3 primary important leaders in the Iranian their little gang that they got going on there. And so Israel is saying that they're getting ready for retaliations. Benjamin Netanyahu said today that if Iran does anything that would be a significant strike against Israel, that Israel would go to full-scale war with them, that they are very well prepared to go to war. In Israel, apparently, this is what's being reported, that people are getting ready. They're telling certain companies that have sensitive materials that they manufacture that may be in vulnerable places to get those out of vulnerable places. The flights have been shut down or will be shut down as of tomorrow going into Israel. They're telling people to start to shelter or to prepare to shelter. And it's being reported about a dozen U.S. ships have been deployed or are going to be deployed very soon in and around Israel and Lebanon. So things are heating up. Probably the biggest thing I've seen today so far is the Ayatollah, the supreme leader of Iran, has ordered the Iranian military to strike firmly, deeply, definitely in Israel in retaliation. I mean, I guess that's still kind of relative. What does that mean? But it makes it sound like that, he's not going to settle for just a little slap on the wrist with this. And then, of course, like I just said, Benjamin Netanyahu has said if they do anything significant, then they'll go to all-out war against Iran. So there's a lot of stuff going on there. And I don't know that this is the thing that I've been talking about that could potentially happen to cause great disruption and distraction, especially what's going on here in the United States, but it very well could be. I would guess that the Biden administration and the Kamala Harris or Camilla, whatever her name is, for crying out loud, just have an easy name to remember and pronounce. But anyways, I'm going to guess that her administration and campaign would probably like for this thing to go into a full-scale war. I'm not speaking for them. I'm not on their payroll. Just because YouTube runs ads sometimes for Kamala Harris before my videos does not mean I'm on the payroll for them. That irritates people. I have no control over what ads YouTube plays. And it doesn't matter whether my channel is monetized or not. They still play ads because they're going to get their money no matter what. But anyways, I think they would like to see a big war that drags the United States into it, because it would be perfect for a distraction, and it would be perfect to kind of, fit within their agenda. Now we cannot forget or not remember, or whatever you want to say, that if this happens, if the United States gets involved, then it would become more than just a regional war, which means Russia, China, other entities could decide to get involved in this. And then basically that's a world war. Even if it's just in one region, you've got lots of the world fighting. So it's a world war. Hey, guess what? We're very possibly could see a world war. And we have to be ready for this. I know that there's a lot of talk right now, and I'm not disagreeing with most of it. I'm unsure on some things of, are we seeing biblical prophecies being fulfilled? It's very possible. One of them that a lot of people forget is that the whole world turns against Israel, right? The whole world turns against Israel, fights Israel. It's starting to look that way. It's getting close to that, at least. And with other things happening, with potentially Turkey getting involved, Iran, and then Russia, I mean, you're getting really close into that area of the Gog and Magog thing. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should probably be reading your Bible. That's probably the best prep that you can do, is to hide that holy scripture in your heart. But anyways, this stuff is crazy. And I talked today over on my locals channel, which if you want to sign up, there'll be a link down in the pinned comment. But what's I find strange is that very possibly over the last couple of years, probably at least since the election, maybe one of the most significant things that we have seen. And that's saying a lot. I mean, that's including the Ukraine war, all this other stuff. We've watched 3 major political and military figures be assassinated within almost a 24-hour period. And not only were they assassinated, but some of them were assassinated on other countries' soil. You know, so they flew in, dropped bombs in another country to kill someone. This is extremely significant. It's like something out of a James Bond movie or Mission Impossible or something. And it certainly is sending a message to the rest of their axis that, you know, you're not untouchable too. So that's one thing. But what I find strange is that today it seems like it's been the few times, and I've been busy, so maybe I've missed it. But from my perspective, there doesn't actually seem to be a lot of news coverage about it. Mainstream media is talking about Trump going and talking to some group of black people and how, you know, what's this white guy talking to black, you know, people to vote for him? I mean, don't they know they're all going to vote for Kamala? Ha ha. You know, that kind of stuff. They're not really talking about the United States government. Other than Anthony Blinken saying for the first one, the one that they hit in Lebanon, saying, we didn't know anything about this. Other than that, I can't really find much information being talked about by our government or in mainstream news about this, other than it just happened, right? You know, mainstream news has reported that it's happened, but there's not any kind of big conversation. You would think Israel assassinating a leader, a political leader inside the capital city of Iran, and then another one inside the capital city of Syria, and another one inside the capital city of Lebanon, within about a 24-hour period, that would be some pretty significant news. And it's not really being talked about a lot. And so, you know, a lot of people are saying, well, maybe they'll just let this one go. I doubt that. What I suspect is that there's a whole lot more pretty bad stuff going on, and they're just not talking about it. There's probably everyone's getting ready for war. And it's quite possible in the next few days. I think tomorrow the Iran announced that they're burying the Hamas leader. So after that's done, who knows what's going to happen. I would tell you this, I would brace yourself for this weekend. For whatever reason, most of the people in the Middle East, Israel included, like to go to wars on Saturdays, Fridays and Saturdays. They usually start then. So be prepared for that, that by Saturday, Sunday. Here's the thing. After what Israel did a few months back inside Iran, and then Iran really kind of didn't do much of anything. If Iran doesn't respond significantly, I'm not advocating for them to be. Trust me, I'm not saying, yeah, they should. I'm saying from just a political perspective, if Iran does not retaliate fairly significantly against Israel on this, then I would almost think that they're going to lose their position of any kind of prominence in the Muslim world. I can't imagine any Muslim having any respect for them then. Turkey's kind of the wild card. They talk and boast a lot, and they don't follow up with action, but they have the capability of it. And here lately, their language has been more severe. And I've not seen, man, that's a gigantic horsefly. Get out of here. I've not seen anything really from Turkey in regards to these assassinations. Not much. So everything just seems to have an eerie calmness right now. And a lot of times in matters of, geopolitics and wars and stuff, that's actually not a good thing. That kind of eerie calmness usually means that something pretty significant is being developed and planned. Wow, my goodness. This is as big as my tip of my thumb. There he goes. So I would be preparing for this one. I've been talking to you now for days and weeks now about how things are escalating and how it seems like we're just on the verge of things kind of falling apart and falling off a cliff. And this may be that moment. It's possible. I don't know. But it doesn't hurt to kind of stay ahead of the curve and get ready. It's midweek. You have at least some time to kind of get yourselves prepared if you can. And get ready. That doesn't mean that when things start really popping off that it's immediately going to affect you, but it could cause gas prices to skyrocket, could cause oil to go up. I mean, gold. It could cause, certain cells that are located here in the United States to go active, especially if the United States is involved in that. So there could be random terrorist attacks. It could be attacks on our grid, on our various infrastructures, water systems, internet, cell phones, all of that. So I would be getting yourselves ready for that because, my goodness, it's moved so quickly. There's so many things that's happened. I mean, just think back over the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, really since the debate. Since the debate, it's been like this everyday snowball just getting bigger and crazier. And that's not a good thing for so much to happen in such a short amount of time. Usually indicates that we're at a very pivotal point in our direction, in our history. And it's not looking good. So you need to be getting ready. I mean, if these events that's happened don't cause you to naturally pop up and say, hey, I got to get going. I got to do something. I got to really take this serious. Then I don't know what to tell you. Folks, it's time to get your houses in order and to prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.